We're back in the studio and our break's getting shorter, as you can see. And we've got a guest today, Alina. Welcome and congratulations with the victory after
Thank you.
bouncing back. And I think you feel very motivated for this Moscow Superfinal, trying to show your best in the capital.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think like everyone, I'm just happy to be able to play normal chess, first of all. Then today I'm also happy to finally win a game in the offline tournament in like a lot of months. So yeah, of course, I worked a lot during this time, and I'm just trying to play as well as I can.
Yeah, so I just had a question. When was your last time when you played over the board chess? Have you played it this year or it was?
Yeah, I managed to
2019?
play this year in Grand Prix in Lausanne in March. That was my last tournament, and after that only online chess.
So it means it was almost 9 months of hard preparation for the Moscow Superfinal.
Let's put it like this.
Okay, and we also had some doubts if the Superfinal will take in Moscow because of current circumstances. Okay, once again, congratulations, and please. So your game against Tatiana Getman today, I saw it was like more or less reminding us some Queen's Gambit lines, but this awkward placement of knight on e2 and pawn on f3. So it was it wasn't transposition because it's completely different position because it's Nimzo-Indian. So bishop b6, just tell me where I should stop. And
yeah, I can say a bit about the opening. I didn't expect f3 because I mean Nimzo with f3 she never played it as far as I remember, and I had some ideas, so I just decided to play d5, a3, bishop d6. After which e4 of course is the main line, but I will not reveal my ideas.
Next
so
time.
Interested can analyze. But after bishop d6, c5, I only remember that this move is quite good for white, but I couldn't remember how I should react on it. Of course, bishop b7 is the only move. So, but after bishop g5, I don't remember anything from my prep. So I decided to play just some simple, normal moves.
Yeah, h6 looks absolutely human.
Bishop h4, castle e3. I actually couldn't see what else I could do after maybe bishop d3. If you go b6, b4, a5, bishop d3. It's like Queen's Gambit declined, but with her bishop on h4 and pawn on f3 instead of bishop on f4 and knight on f3. Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as we admitted with Pavel, that usually white tries to eliminate the pair of pawns and try to break through e3, e4, but this is not this type of position.
Yes, after e4, somewhere, of course, not here. I mean, I would probably have like, I don't know, bc, bc, de, fe, and d5 or something like this.
So this setup looks more or less awkward for white. So
yeah, I actually was trying to find here something more concrete, maybe with AB, rook a1, queen a1, knight c6, but I think it doesn't work, just queen a4. And
queen a1 and how? Knight c6?
Knight c6, yeah, I just wanted, to play fast somewhere here, like e5, maybe next move or something like that, but queen a4 and I don't have anything.
Probably, now white is solidified and some problems with the development.
Yeah, so I decided to play just normal moves. Of course, I mean, I don't think black could be better in this type of positions anywhere. It's just around equal, I think. Maybe not the dream position to get for play, but castle, knight d7. Yes, and here I think f4 was kind of mistake. What to do is another question. Maybe just to take on a6, queen d3. I don't know, something like this.
So you would rather play queen a8 or b5 after, let's say, for example, if white captures on a6, rook takes, queen d3. Queen a8 or
I was
b5?
not sure about queen a8 because there might be b5. I'm not sure if...
let's say b5, c takes c6.
Maybe knight b5 also, but then rook c8. Maybe it doesn't work for white.
Okay, so let's say if c takes b5...
Knight b5.
Knight b5.
Yes, knight c7 is threatening, so probably rook c8.
But maybe we're both mistaken, or... I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Knight b5, rook c8 has to be played.
Yes, and...
Oops, what's going on? Yeah,
you
rook
can use this.
c8. Yes, and it seems that black is more than fine. Well, at least they're not worse.
Yeah, but white is not forced to play b5.
Yeah, for sure.
And queen a.
So, but you're trading 8x before, trying to create some troubles for white on the a file.
Okay, maybe I'll agree that bishop a6 is not the best move. I don't know, white should wait somehow, but how, I don't know.
Yeah, because this e3, e4, as we figure out, is not clearly in white's favor. So let's say...
If to play e4, then definitely after bishop a6, because if you play e4 here, I would have bishop d3, queen d3, and bc. BC and your queen would be hanging DE and knight
That's
C5.
right.
Yes. So
I'll
if
just
you want to
show it to the spectators. Bishop takes g3, and just a cute tactics. Yeah, we take on e4 first, or we take on c5, or it doesn't matter. No, we take on e4. Okay, anyway, the idea is following.
Yes.
D takes, f takes, b takes, and white is forced to take with d pawn, spoiling the central squares. In case of b takes c5, then knight c5, the pawn is pinned, and black is pawn up. So that was the point, but your opponent played f4, as far as I can see and I remember, and you've got a very interesting tactical idea.
Yeah, after f4 I saw this idea with knight g4, and of course it's very natural. I think that, okay, if I'm correct, computer probably doesn't agree, but I thought that bishop f2 is the only move here, but I'm sure no one would play f4 with the idea knight g4, bishop f2.
No, but the point being that if you realize that you're blundering, it's better not to lose by force. So bishop f2 probably was needed. The point being that after f4, knight g4, you've got the... What was your idea?
My idea was just to take on e3, as you can see. So bishop e7, queen e7. If she would play queen d2 after...
Yes. Yeah, so we were puzzled what would be if queen d2, but there is...
Then there is bishop d3. Yes, there is a nice geometry. Queen d3.
Yeah, queen takes the bishop.
a4, and here I would think to start with queen h4 or rook a1, but okay, let's...
Okay, queen h4 is more aesthetical.
h3, rook a1, rook a1, and queen f2. And it seems to be working.
Yeah, and probably it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the main tactical resource that helped you to reach the big advantage. So knight g4, bishop e7, queen takes, and then your opponent probably realized that queen d2 is not working. Took on a6, knight e3, queen c1, knight f1. Any other opportunities, or bishop b7 had to be played?
Well, I was calculating some other lines, but...
so let's say like bishop d3.
Then I just take on b4, and my knight escapes with d2, yeah.
Yeah, so it escapes finally.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so capturing the rook, queen takes, knight d2, knight
d2,
e3.
knight e3,
yeah, knight e3 probably is a bit preferable. Okay, bishop b7, a takes b4. So now you're
maybe rook b8 also works here, but I didn't want to get the position. For example, rook b8, bishop takes c6, and here, for example, b takes c5, with the idea after bc5 to take knight c5, but then b5 and I don't know.
Wow.
Whatever. cd4, knight d4, queen c5, knight c2, and...
Yeah, most likely black is winning, but at least some, well, unpleasant complications that you rather want to avoid.
Yeah, especially that I saw this line that happened in the game after a4, and I assumed I should be much better, close to winning, and I didn't want to...
Yeah, that's probably a smart practical decision. Bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop takes c6, knight d2. Well, finally your knight escaped.
It's quite forced line, I think.
Probably, your opponent had to take on d7. That's what she did. Queen takes, queen c3, knight e4. So the material is equal, but black is clearly better because white has a lot of weaknesses. Their king is under a big risk. Queen b4, pawn takes, rook c8, rook c1. I think
I was thinking
Alternative idea
A4.
was to take, yeah, I mean like instead of rook c1, yeah?
Yeah, A4, but then rook C5, her king is too weak. Rook C5, I don't know, A5, for example, then I can go queen A7. I don't believe she would have.
Yeah, like queen
a-
a7, queen d4, and queen a6.
And queen A6, yeah, that was the line I calculated.
Yeah, so that's convincing for sure.
So rook C1, here I could have played queen A7, but of course then knight D4 and transposing would be.
Mhm.
Also, I didn't want to give knight B6. I actually calculated here a funny line, queen A7, queen B6, if she would play queen B6. Then I take on A3, C6, queen D3, with the idea that if knight G3, then queen D2,
Mhm.
king F1, instead of knight G3, because I think that this is already
Mhm.
losing. And here I wanted to play rook C6. I don't know if it's working. Maybe I'm blundering something in one move, but that was what I calculated. Rook C6,
And queen e3.
queen C6, queen E3, king E1, queen F2, king D1, queen F1. And
Yeah, but we can now, after king d1, queen f1, we can stop the analysis because...
yeah, but
has to be winning.
anyway, you know, this is a long
C6
line,
is
and I
very
didn't want
cool.
to give her this C passed pawn because it will be always some counter chances, especially that after queen A7 she can also play knight D4, transposing to what happened in the game.
Mhm.
So I didn't see why shall I give her this option.
Yeah. Okay, so you took
So
on
I took rook
c5.
C5. You mentioned that I could take knight C5, but I was not even considering this because I'm in the position let's say knight D4.
Yeah, maybe there is absolutely necessary.
Queen A7, I would be really scary
Yeah,
because
you know,
I
like
don't know.
the funny thing that after queen a7 you cannot play knight b5 because of knight d3 check.
Yeah, this I actually saw, but what shall I
I'll
do
just
next?
show it to
Yeah.
spectators. Just a funny thing. Yes, so but well, obviously, like as a human beings, we don't want to be pinned,
Yeah.
especially when we have an option to take with the rook. Partially, I mean, like in this exactly in this position, like
Yeah,
rook c5
and
is much more preferable.
Here it's transposing to the knight's endgame, and as they say, knight's endgame is the same as a pawn endgame.
Yeah, so it wasn't that
So-
hard to evaluate. That's right, according to the patterns. Rook c5, queen a7, and I think you found probably the best plan.
I don't know if after king f2 I should have played f6, e5 immediately. I wanted somehow
Yeah,
to...
the point being that we've been analyzing f6 there,
Yeah.
but then somehow we refused to do it because the knight c6, let's say, king f7. Of course, I think you have calculated during the game, king e8, king d4,
And
knight
then
a4.
f5.
Yeah, some
Yes.
f5 stuff.
Yeah, actually, going to this endgame, I thought it's completely winning, but when it happened, I was not so sure if it's winning. I mean, I thought that it's much more complicated than I
Yeah, you just
initially-
have to be precise. So king f2, and yeah, you played king f8. I think that was the best option.
Yeah, knight c6, king a8. I think she had a better chance. We can go further. Yeah, how it happened: king e3, king d7. Yes, after f6.
Knight d7. Yes, that was clever. Knight c6, king d6, knight d8, f6.
And here I thought that maybe she had an idea of knight f7,
Knight
king
h8.
e7, knight h8,
Well,
and
but
then f5 is threatening.
wow.
Okay, I thought that, you know, for just player to put knight on h8 is not a dream, but on the other hand, f5 is threatening.
Yeah, so it's getting very concrete. So it means that let's say king e7, king h8. Can you try to, I would say, trap the knight somehow? Let's say play g7, g5. Is it possible?
f5?
f5, and I was wondering you can simply take on f5. I don't know.
But you know, this a pawn is very tricky with the knight, so
For sure.
I was really scary about this.
Okay, let's just calculate,
Okay,
just for fun.
I would probably have to play this because I couldn't see how I can save my pawns. Yeah, ef5, king d5.
Let's say king. So king f8, you have king e6, and it's still a little bit unclear. No, isn't it?
Well, after king f8, king e6, it might be already clear, no? I mean, that white is not risking, no?
Okay, we need to count the tempos, but probably white is even faster. Yeah, that's true. So,
Yeah.
okay, what we can do else? Knight e5, knight b6. Knight b6 looks more or less solid, by the way.
Yeah, knight b6 looks.
Knight b6, king c5.
Ah, yeah, you will put knight on b2 probably, yes.
Okay, but you can try to scratch me playing king b4, king c3. Okay, it's unnecessary. But okay, if king f7, sorry, knight f7, king e7.
Yeah,
how this
I
position has
couldn't see
occurred.
how should I proceed there. So it might be the way.
Let's say knight, king c3. Still knight is trapped. Yeah, okay, maybe we can return a bit earlier. Knight f7.
I have
once
to
again.
play king e7, right? Because
e7.
after otherwise you play f5.
Yeah, if king c7, still f5.
Yeah.
King e7, king h8. Okay, g5 looks very tempting. Also, you have knight f8 with the same idea.
But then
f5.
f5, yeah, first.
But then f5, you have what? You have king d6 or e takes f5, right?
I actually was thinking about knight b6 after knight h8, like prophylactics against f5, but then king c5 you have probably.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not sure if you're threatening to take the knight.
And then you can play g5 and try to... Can we? Let's say g5.
King
It's very
c5.
funny. Yeah, the point being that if white takes on g5, we take with h pawn, still the knight is trapped. Okay, I don't believe in h4.
Yeah,
That's funny.
probably it's winning, but still, I would have to find
Yeah.
some nice ideas.
At
here.
least you need to calculate, let's say, h2, h4 there. Yeah, some very, very, very interesting position. I mean, it's interesting in terms of finding some study-like wins for black.
Yeah, and actually it shows that probably knights and game are not the same as pawn.
I mean, they're not that easy as pawns because you have one additional piece which creates a lot of inconveniences in calculations.
And especially that here white has the a pawn, the worst.
It's always difficult to fight with the A and H pawn in the knight's endgames. Okay, well that was an option. I don't know. Should we proceed in analyzing it?
No.
Okay, we'll leave it for
yeah.
computer or like creating some studies according to the game connected with the position in the game.
Yeah,
Okay.
but what happened? I think it was much more easier because she played knight b7.
Yeah, when your knight retreated to, played king c7, knight e5, king b6, and after knight b3, knight b8, followed by knight c6. Probably that was the end of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of intrigue.
Yes.
Okay, so Alina, congratulations, and hoping to see you back soon in the studio. Hoping to see more study-like wins. Okay, we as being commentators, we want some intrigue, we want some beauty of chess, and you being professionals playing in the most, I would say, probably the strongest event of the year, at least in Russian chess. You want to win every game as calmly as possible. So anyway, good luck in the upcoming rounds, and thanks for coming here.
Thank you very much.